Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Guess what? It's Friday. Wait a minute. It's FriYAY. Who's ready for this? Kathy's in the house. Flynn is in the house. That's all I can say is they are ready for their FriYAY. Are you? I am so ready for Friday. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Let's just say it's kind of weirdly muggy-ish. Sort of sun struggling to come in, and maybe there's going to be a little bit of thunderstorms. Who knows? But we have our dog at doggy daycare right now. I just feel I'm looking at the clock. When can we go pick him up? Isn't that crazy? I'm like a parent. Hey there, Suzanne and Diane and Joanne and Carla, Susan, Melissa in the house. Good to see you. There's my girl June too. Pinky's up, she says. I agree with you. It is a pinky's up kind of a day. So I hope you're doing great this week. I hope you're just crushing it with your Hot Melt 30 or your Hot Melt Sprint, whatever it is that you're doing. There's Noreen, Lisa, and Lizzie also in the house. Who's Hot Melt 30ing? I don't see those hashtags. Diane's got hers up. So does Suzanne. I'm seeing and so does Flynn. I'm seeing some great pictures, y'all. I've been loving watching this transformation happen. And I hope, and while we're looking at the physical aspects of this whole thing, emotionally and spiritually and inner strength-wise, how are you feeling? I'm doing your reading and your journaling and all of that. I hope it's just lighting you up and make you tingle all over. Razzle dazzle, as Amber would say. How about some razzle dazzle? Hello there, Jocelyn. I'm glad to see you. Jackie's also in the house. There's my girl Lisa. And Gwen didn't disappoint. Here she is, all the way from California. So glad to see you all. We've got some great questions, and I'm going to make a strong suggestion that you send your questions in for next week right now. Send them into support@savingdinner.com, and in that subject line, question for Leanne on Friday. We do love questions, and we answer them all, don't we? Hello, Sarah. Can you believe it's I can't believe it's day 11 at all. I'm still full from my smoothie this morning. Can you believe? I love that. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here. Doris is in the house. So's our girl, Jackie. Isn't this so fun? Aren't we having fun already? I am. I'm having a blast. It's easy. I just sit here and guess what I do? Just greet you all as you come in. Just like I will do on the day that you decide that you're going to be coming here to Brevard, North Carolina, and coming to our Full Bloom event. We don't exactly have our theme just yet, but boy, oh boy, I've got one theme that I'm mulling over. I'm not going to share it. Maybe I'll share it tomorrow for Soulful Saturday. Might share it tomorrow for Soulful Saturday and get your feedback. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Hi, Patsy. Hi, Jane. And there's Kathy. Yay. I'm glad you're here too, Kathy and Mary Ann. All of the ladies are in the house. But I'm going to give you that feedback. I would like to ask you to do one thing for me. Will you do this for me? Go to savingdinner.com/bloom. And there's just a little thing asking for your email address and say, hey, are you interested? If you want to be a Hot Melt Insider, that's what Amber's calling mine, which I think is adorable. Hot Melt Insiders are going to get the first round on these tickets. We have a location. It's the Cedar Mountain Community Center, and it's just, it's a plain Jane place. The only problem with it is it has 2 bathrooms. So I'm going to work on, I think what I'm going to do is there's a little kitchen sink right there in the kitchen for hand washing. So I think I'm going to say, sinks are closed, wash your hands out here. I don't know. Just so that we can keep things going. We only have 2 bathrooms. We have 1 women's and 1 men's. Seriously. We're looking at probably 100 women. But who cares? Yeah, the theme could be show up because Yeah, the thing could be show up, but I've got a couple of ideas. I don't know. It's setting, but I'm not quite sure. And I think your feedback's really going to help. I'll be ready to share it tomorrow. Catherine's here. Angie's here. Yay. We have questions, of course. And tomorrow is the thing out. We're changing out our quote of the week. We still have our supplement just for the next few days. And you are taking good care of all of this. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for, making it so that we have to keep ordering this stuff. This is a perfect paleo protein, y'all. It's the chocolate. And I'm telling you, this is the best thing you're ever gonna taste. You guys like my hair? It's just such a disaster. This is the only, I was like, I do not have time to wash it. And you can see, look, this is what happens when we have rain. I'm all curly. So I just decided to just, cut the frizz and put a little wrappy poo all over it so you can't see what's going on under there. But thank you. I'll take it. Hi, Lisa. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Patsy likes it too. Good grief, you guys. Dirty hair, don't care, right? Dirty hair, workout hair, weather hair. We got the whole thing. So I'm all over the place. So our supplement of the week, of course, is our perfect paleo protein. And I'm telling everybody, please get chocolate. I want you to get chocolate because if you have not experienced collagen protein, you have not experienced the chocolate. The vanilla is good. Don't get me wrong. But the chocolate will flip you out. You're going to wonder, what is this? This is not a protein drink. There's nothing sludgy or powdery or gritty about it. Nothing. It's creamy deliciousness. It's ridiculously good. And Just Juice Veggies goes in there. You don't taste it. You got your perfect paleo. You got your fiber mender in there. You don't taste it. You got your L-glutamine. You do not taste it. It's off the chain. It's so good. And I keep saying that, but I can't stop. I wake up craving it, like, oh, I get to have that this morning. So anyway, I'm massively in love with it, if you can't tell. And we have it now in the shop. We've ordered just a ton of it. Steph's here. Sarah said she ordered more chocolate yesterday. I'm so glad. Tammy, I'm glad you're here too. Yay. Hi, Susan. So perfect paleo protein. First of all, if you're doing the Hot Melt 30, you need to be getting collagen in 3 different ways, right? That's part of the Hot Melt 30. One of them is beauty support. That's easy. Where is that? Yep, got it right here. Beauty support, because this helps you make your collagen. The other is perfect paleo protein, because this is putting the collagen in. And if you get the chocolate, you will be writing me thank you letters. I'm just saying. It's that good. And then number 3 is bone broth. I hope you have a big vat of it in your refrigerator. Those 3 things are going to make your skin incredible. Incredible. 3 things. Okay, Catherine, you've got a lot of vanilla, but I'm telling you, the chocolate. Carol said she's struggling right now. Where are my love buttons? I'm sending you bunches of love right now, Carol. And I've got all the everybody's here. We're all here for you. And you know what? Here's the thing. We all struggle. There is not a soul on this earth who does not have a struggle. It's just, how do we want to define our struggle? It's momentarily a thing. It can be momentarily. So what I like to say is, instead of saying I'm on the struggle bus, or it's this, that, and the other thing, or it's this, it's like I'm having a momentary struggle right now. I haven't figured this part of it out, but I will. And Carol, you do not have to be self-sufficient. You don't have to do this all by yourself. You know what? You go into our little group, our Hot Melt Sprint group, and just say, this is the deal. This is what's going on. It's private. This is the way that we can just let it all hang out and get into the place of having, first of all, getting loved up by an incredible group of women. And number 2, getting some actual solutions going. Because you know what the thing is? It's not that it's not figure-outable. We just haven't figured out what the figure-outable way is yet. That's all. And everything that we do is not done and it's in stone. It's always up for refinement. That's how I look at everything, because I find myself with like, oh, but why is this changing? Why am I changing this? And why isn't it, shouldn't it be this way? And the thing is when we get so dogmatic, should be like this, which, that's a sign of perfectionism, by the way. And that's exactly how I roll, right? Don't you? I mean, you know exactly what this is all about. And, but, we can lay that down anytime and say, you know what? Perfectionism hasn't worked for me. How about if I pick up excellence instead? And so Carol, I'm inviting you to that excellent table, and I'm inviting you in for hugs and love and care and support. We all need it from time to time. We all need encouragement, don't we? That's my Carol speech for today. And you know what? That might be you too. We're all there at some point, all of us. All of us. Nobody is above struggle. Nobody is above having a hard time. Nobody is above, anything. And when we say we don't make excuses, all we're saying is we just haven't figured it out. Because what excuses are is that it's just the path to quitting on yourself. That's what we do when we start excusing ourselves. Instead, when we say, hey, I'm going to figure this out. I've got this. It's just I haven't figured out the fine details yet. We get to go to the place of excellence, and we get to refine, and we get to change things up, and we get to be open and hear other people's ideas and solutions. Doesn't it make it so fun? I love that. Yes, Patsy's absolutely right. She said it will all of a sudden come together for you. There's a lot of information here. I'm not going to lie, and I give you lots of info. Not going to lie. I do that, don't I? You're welcome. But you know what? It's all about the journey, y'all. I want to get there too. I want to go from here to there too. But that little bridge that you're building, that little path, that vibrancy path that you're creating, that's uniquely yours. That's yours, And you know what? When we get to, and then we do get to, it's an opportunity to build that, then we can always look back on it and be proud of the work we did. We can always look back and say, you know what? Nobody handed me a magic key or a magic pill or magic anything. I did the work, and I did it myself, and I figured this stuff out. That's what makes everything so incredibly wonderful and so incredibly yours, and such a customized, personalized way of doing things. Isn't it great to get off the carousel of crazy? That's what I'm telling you about. So there you go. I just did another TED Talk, didn't I? I mean, I can't help myself. We have, in addition to our Perfect Paleo Protein, you can get a mug, one of these lovely mindful mugs, mind you, for only $5. That's half off, just simply by buying our Perfect Paleo Protein. All the details are at savingdinner.com/show. I know I didn't give out that website last time. /show. That's where it is. There's our girl, Carol. Yay. Hey, Margaret's in the house. So's Diane. Marguerite, I see you. I'm so glad you're here. Anyway, we all want to be acknowledged. We all want to be a part of. We don't want to be left behind. We don't want to be forgotten about, do we? Nobody does. When that happens, it's sad. When that happens, you feel less than. And nobody here, not on my watch, is less than. No way. So there. That discussion is closed. We have all kinds of what I call success tools for helping you on this journey, because what we have discovered, and you know this, is that it's not just about the food, and it's not just about the plan, it's not just about the supplements, but it's about what you're thinking about, what you're doing, how you're actually planning your day, what your goals are, what you're surrounding yourself with, the environment that you have or don't have. And that's why we have our journals, savingdinner.com/journal. You can find it there. And I'd show it to you, but mine's upstairs where it belongs. I'm still writing in it. So you've got your journal, and it shows you how to do 12-week goals. That's fabulous, okay? And there's a training that goes with it, a couple of trainings that goes with it, and it's just really amazing. They've all been redone. They're amazing. Number 2, we have our quote decks. Oh, and I was going to tell you about my new idea with the quote deck. Aren't you glad? I mean, I've got So many things going on. Okay, so here's my idea with the quote deck. Remember yesterday we were sort of talking about environment and all that, and I said, I've got a new thing for the quote deck, and then I forgot to tell you. Well, here it is. What I've been doing is using my quote deck as sort of like, what do I need to be into today? What do I need to be focused on today? And so in the morning, I'm going to choose a new card. So I chose this one yesterday. What you capture becomes cemented. I love that. That's a Robin Sharma quote. Of course, it's his other big quote that I love. What you capture becomes cemented. And then at lunchtime, I'm going through and I'm getting another card and I'm just randomly picking it. So I'm thinking about what is it captured? Bring your thoughts captive. We've heard that. The good book tells us that one, right? Bring your thoughts captive. Bring things captive. What do you capture? A habit, then you cement it. A thought, you cement it. I love this idea of cementing it. Have you ever, when my puppy, not my puppy, but my dog, little David, passed away. This is back in the early 2000s or about 2007, I guess. Broke my heart. I mean, and it's been this long since I got a dog again. But one of the things that they gave me in cement was his little paw print, and I still have it, and I cherish it. And I think about things that are cemented, or when you're pouring a new driveway and you're putting initials in it, right? It's there to hold and be a memory forever and ever. So cementing things is one of the ways that we can start capturing these thoughts that we need to hold captive, these thoughts that we need to cement into a habit, these habits that we need to cement into our lives to help to create and help to build that bridge. So I love that quote. That was all the stuff that went on in my mind yesterday. And here's the other one. This is a Thomas Carlyle one. No pressure, no diamonds. Well, if you know how diamonds are made, and this one came up. So that was my breakfast one. Then I pulled up a lunch quote, and I'm calling it quote deck roulette because then you don't just get used to these things being here, and you don't have to set a timer. You just piggyback it on something and, let's change the card, because it helps to reset your thoughts. That's what I've been doing. So no pressure, no diamonds. Diamonds are carbon, black carbon, and the pressure is what creates the diamond. Well, that's how it is for me. When I start complaining, the pressure, I've got so much to do or whatever, the pressure is what creates things. Hot Milk 30 was born out of some pressure. Like, I need to do something. What's the next level? There has to be a next level. The Hot Milk Sprint Plus, well, here's some recipes, but there's a next level to this whole thing. What is it? The pressure came and Hot Milk 30 was born. And I have to say, I think it's a great program. I think we did a good job on that. I think we took the best of all worlds and created something that that everybody really loves. And then the last one is one of my favorites is old keys won't open new doors. And I think about that one oftentimes when I keep trying to do the insanity thing, the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I have to remember, if I'm going to create this newness, then I'm going to have to get new keys for that door. That new house is going to need that. Do you love this? Do you love this idea? So if you have a quote deck, start doing quote deck roulette, 3 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Change it up and then think about and marinate on and cogitate a little bit on what that quote is. And let it do its thing. This is how we change our minds and change our lives at the same time. Oh, I hope you like that. All right. Did I say everything? Oh, here we go. Here's our quote of the week. The last day for it. Tomorrow we change it. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear. Bam! I so love this one. This one's going to have to go on a quote deck the next round, because that's gold right there. That is gold. Thank you, Ambrose Red Moon, even though your name is something completely different and you're a total weirdo. I read his bio and I thought, I'm not going to include that information. He sounds a little odd, but he got it, he got it about a bunch of stuff. There you go. Look at what June said. Also, we can grab a glass of water every time we grab a quote deck card. Why not? Why not do that piggyback habit? Because you're hydrating your body and you're hydrating your mind to think about different things and to do things differently. Have you noticed that as you change your mind and do things differently, how it changes out the way you do things? It does. You make an exchange. You've decided instead, you've decided once and for all that, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to keep trying to jam that old key into that new door. Doesn't work. That just makes me happy. All right, I don't know what else I need to tell you about because I don't have my notes. Did I say everything? You like that idea, Joanne? Good. Total weirdos can have their moments. Well, I am a total weirdo, so I own it. I'm good with it. It makes me happy to be a total weirdo. I think when you're settled in yourself, you're okay. Carol's going to ask for a body clutter buddy in the Facebook group. So any of you who don't have one, it's time to pony up. Let's do this. Takes it to the next level. It surely does. So our questions are, let's go ahead and pop into the questions, shall we? Not very many of them, but Suzanne had a good question. She said the multivitamins and the core 4. Is it too much to take both multi as well as vitamin B and D? Oh, shoot, I forgot my multi. Do I have it here? I thought I had it on the desk. Ambrose hey, I am a total weirdo, Sarah. I am, but he was an out there weirdo, but that's okay. I didn't change my name. So Suzanne's asking about the multis and the core 4. Should I take off? Take off the D. That's the only one that I would worry about, because here's the thing with the B. Unless you have done a genetics test, you don't know if you need a methylated B. Okay, you don't know. It's the MTHR mutant gene, if you will, mutation, and there's a couple of different ways that happens. But 60% of the population has this mutated gene. Therefore, you're not getting the B12 and the folic acid like you should be, and it needs to be methylated. And that's how our vitamin Bs are. Now, I will also mention that, and that's in the core 4. Now, some people we've gotten some pretty panicked emails saying, oh my gosh, I have hives, or I just broke out and I felt really weird. I'm allergic to your B. No, you're having what's called a niacin flush. And for some of us, we really react, like I really react to our vitamin B. And it's unpleasant for a minute, but it's the niacin opening up and dilating all those little blood vessels. Isn't that great? It's terrific, as a matter of fact. And it's just uncomfortable. And so other people don't get that. It's sort of like asparagus pea. Some people's pea smells like asparagus when they eat them, and some people's don't. And it's all about your genes. Aren't you glad I use that as a cross-reference? But it's true. And these genetic tests are fascinating. And they tell us all kinds of stuff that we didn't know about. So that's and B, by the way, is a soluble vitamin. Now, vitamin D, on the other hand, is not. Vitamin D is an oil-soluble vitamin that acts as like a hormone, and it works with calcium, magnesium to help with bone remodeling and the bone matrix and all of that. It also helps with your immune system in a big way. And what I would strongly suggest is that you would go ahead and still take it, because you're only taking one of the vitamin D. For me, for example, who, I have a tendency to get really low on I double down on my vitamin D. And that's because I know what my vitamin D levels are, and you can too, simply by ordering a vitamin D test. You can get them off of Amazon. There's all kinds of places that you can get it. Life Extension has them as well, but you can get them. They're accurate, and it's a good idea to get them and know where you are. The other way to activate your vitamin D is to take it and also go outside for 10 minutes in the sun. Every single day, I try to go outside in the morning and get that sun. Remember how I was talking to you about the whole thing about sleep and how it activates your cortisol, and cortisol levels actually are a good thing early in the morning. We want our cortisol levels to be activated because that's what keeps us up and that's what keeps us awake. The problem is that when we have our circadian clocks are all off, our cortisol can be switched on at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody wants that. If I eat first, the flush is not as bad. Absolutely, Gwen. Absolutely. And, we shouldn't be taking vitamins on an empty stomach anyway, because you don't process them as well. When you think about this, that if you are taking all of your supplements with food, other than the ones that are supposed to be taken separately. It is acting as and being digested with your food and being better assimilated, and you won't get the stomach ache and you won't feel kind of nauseous. I always feel nauseous. And, I take a boatload of supplements. So, it's imperative that we do it this way. Imperative. So you'll be fine, but do test for your vitamin D levels and find out where you are. The optimal levels right around 35. You want between 35 and 65 is what you want to do. Carol says, I'm out in the sun every morning. You walk 4 miles daily. 2 miles and 2 miles you walk alone. Good for you, Carol. That is fabulous. Put some sprints in there for your HIIT training and you're golden. Do some sprints. It's in the Hot Milk Sprint Guide. And that will also get you off of a plateau in a red hot hurry. Fabulous. Then Leisha asked these questions. She said, do you recommend black soybeans, 1 net carb for protein? No. And the reason I don't is it's estrogenetic. Okay, that's one of the things, and it causes extra estrogen to be created, which most of us don't need. Most of us have estrogen dominance issues. This leads to breast cancer and all kinds of things, and it can be an issue. It's also goitrogenic, so it irritates your thyroid. So those are 2 things, and it's inflammatory. Can you believe that? Isn't that terrible? And soy is in a lot of things. Even if you're going out of your way to eat organic soy and all of that, you're still going to find soy in all kinds of processed foods. It's a cheap oil to make, etc. I just say stay clear of as much soy as you possibly can. And as a matter of fact, when if I can't even remember the last time we did this, but gone for sushi, I usually take my own coconut aminos because that's a soy sauce substitute. Works. Leisha says, I noticed dairy is not used in any of the recipes so far. Is that because they are inflammatory? Yes. What happens when we're eating inflammatory foods? We could be doing everything right. We've got this one thing that's a problem. It's going to hold back weight loss. It's going to light you up like a Christmas tree with inflammation. And it's going to stall things because now the body's got to work on cleaning up that inflammation. When you stub your toe, think about when you stub your toe, what happens? You feel, first of all, you feel the pain. Then you feel, you can look at your toe, right? You can look at your toe. You can see the toe swelling, getting red. Maybe the toenail turns black and blue or whatever. But that is inflammation. And that is all that. There's a lot of energy going toward that toe to heal it up. Now, chronic inflammation, on the other hand, is when food is a good example because remember, food is just, it doesn't care. Food is either inflammatory or it's inflammation. It's one or the other. I should say it's either inflammatory information or it's good, healthy, nutritional information is what it is. But that's just there, and there's no gray. There is no such thing as a neutral food. Food doesn't work that way. It has a very specific purpose. So when we're in this place of chronic inflammation, it's just, there's one insult after the other. And so the body just finally says, I give up. And it's like you have stubbed toes all over your body inside. And it's the healing. You have to stop, the thunder and lightning in order to do the cleanup on all that inflammation, in order to stop with the inflammatory stuff, then allow for the cleanup, then allow for the healing. And then things start to get back to where you want. This is why our sprint has so many prongs to it, the way we do everything. It's to instigate and help your metabolism along. It's to squash inflammation. It's to stop insulin from gushing out of your body and get you to the place where you can start the cleanup, start the healing, and then allow for the weight loss. This is why what happens a lot of times for people who are saying, I don't get it. I've been like perfect on this stupid plan. What's going on? Why am I not losing weight? Give it a minute. Stay on the hydration and stay on the water. Those are 2 big things. Stay on doing everything the way, it's laid out and meant to do. It's very simple. And then watch what happens. Whoosh, off it comes. Off it comes. It has to. But it needs a minute, and it might need longer than you like. But we can't be impatient with this healing process. And that's why, even though I'm kind of going out here on a tangent a little bit, but I have to mention all of this, that's why dairy's like this. You know, dairy can just be that one little trigger that goes and just shoots the whole thing off. You were doing great, you were doing great, you were doing great. Then all of a sudden, stall, inflammation, maybe you can gain a pound or two back and feeling bad, pain again, this, that, and the other thing. So stay away from dairy. For right now, stay away from dairy. And it's a great test, especially if you're using a food diary. You can see all the information. You can see just how well it's working or not. Hey, Yolanda, I'm glad you're here. So that should help you a lot. Leisha also asked, does Crave Crusher work quickly to curb cravings, or is it meant to be a daily supplement that's supposed to help overall with cravings? The latter. So the way that this works, and I, again, you know, I use all the tools. I use all the tools. I will just freely admit I need them all. Every single last one. I take them all. I take the Get Lean CLA. I take the Crave Crusher. I take L-glutamine. I take Leptofix every single day. Every day. And the days that I don't, I wish I had, because it keeps the cravings at bay. And it also helps, not only does it keep the cravings at bay, but I don't think about food as much. You know, I'm a food addict. I have admitted that, and for years, I abused food. I have been up and down with my weight. I've been all over Kingdom Come. I'm finally at a place right now where I've just fallen in love with just having good, healthy blood tests. And what I weigh now doesn't, you know, I'm not a slave to what size my jeans are. I'm not a slave to the scale or even the measuring devices that are out there. And I've got all of them, because I've recognized how much time I've spent on this. And at the end of the day, what's the most important thing? What do your blood tests say? Because your blood test is an indicator of how healthy you are or you're not. What needs to be switched? Where are you inflamed, or where aren't you? And the last test that I had, every single factor was in the optimal range. Every single one. Now, this is before COVID. I have to do it again. This is before COVID. The only thing that was off was my thyroid, you know, and it was the antibodies, but my thyroid was right on point. Everything was on point, and I feel good. I am not in size 6 jeans. You know what? The world has not fallen apart yet. Wow. And I feel good, and I'm strong, and I dare you to race me up the stairs at my house. I am an athlete, girls. You don't have to be in the size. It's not the size. But you do have to deal with things that come along. And when you know, and when you see, and you're saying, you know what, food just takes up too much space in my head, then we need to fix that, because life is too important to have food and should I eat this and should I not taking up all your time. That's how we lose vibrancy. That's what the diet industry wants us to do. They want to suck our brains dry so that they can suck our wallets dry with all their gizmos, gadgets, and scary ass pills. Can I just tell you? Some of the stuff that people are taking, I cannot believe. It's not to help their bodies work better. It's to jack up their metabolism artificially and make their hearts race. I heard a story of one woman who had to go to the hospital because of some diet pill she was taking. Over the counter. You will not ever, ever, ever see that on my watch, ever. Because what we do is we do supplements that are going to help your body work optimally. We know that there are hormones that need taking care of and tending to. We know that. We know about our hunger hormones. We know about all of them. And the more we know, the more we can go, okay, if this is the case, then we're going to have to do this to help you with that. That's all. Leptofix every single morning, SAMe every single morning on an empty stomach. Several reasons why. And I've told you all of this stuff. Sarah says it was a cosmic 2x4 to think about how much time and mental energy I would have for other things once I wasn't trying to get healthy. Exactly. Exactly. You know, I met a woman. It's so funny. I was on a walk yesterday, and the woman, we were on a walk, and she said, You look really familiar. Who are you? And I just said, well, we drove over here, and Mark, and we're the ones with the big pontoon. Wanda of Wentesca is the name of our pontoon. She said, no, that's not it. And then she said, wait, what's your name? And I said, Leanne. And then she said, Leanne who? And I said, Leanne Ely. And she said, from Saving Dinner. It was a riot. And she goes, I thought you looked familiar. And I'm sitting there in all my sweaty glory, and I'm going, yeah, here I am, ta-da. And she was a trainer, and we were talking about this whole idea, and I was telling her about the Carousel of Crazy, the book, and all that stuff, and just getting out of this idea that we have to kill ourselves and spend all of our waking moments on some kind of an ideal, and waist trainers and wearing bags to sweat in so that we can get smaller and skinnier. And it's not smaller and skinnier. I'm not going to ever ask you to get smaller and skinnier. You know what I'm going to ask you to do? Get as strong as you possibly can. Lift heavy things. Get up and down those stairs. Start putting, get some upper body strength going. You know why? Because when you turn 70 or 75 or 80 and 85, you're going to be writing me a love letter all those years and just say, I remember when you said, because I'll still be alive. I will be 120, but I will still be alive, and I will be as vibrant as you can believe, because I'm not going to ever get off of this. This is the path to vibrancy. The Carousel of Crazy is not, and it will preoccupy you and keep you in that place. So you know what Crave Crusher does for me? It keeps me from the place of overthinking about everything, because that's the place, that's my Oregon Trail that I want to go back to. Thinking about everything. Well, maybe I should do this, and maybe I should get smaller, Oh, look at all these small, and I have a closet full of teeny tiny size 4 clothes, and I'm thinking it's time to get rid of them, because I'm fine the way I am. Size 10's fine. I have some 8s. So what? Really? Is it all about those single digits? Is that what life is? That the equivalency of a fabulously led life? Is that vibrancy? No, it's not. It has nothing to do with the size on your jeans, nothing to do with the color of your lipstick. It has to do with, what are you thinking about all day long? I don't want to be thinking about this stuff anymore. Pinkies up if you're done. Are you done? That's how we get off the Carousel of Crazy and start building that bridge of vibrancy that we want to live. That's it right there. And these supplements are designed to help you do just that. The L-glutamine, that stops you from jonesing. Jonesing, like, if I don't have some chips right now, somebody's going to get hurt. Get out of my way. Where are my car keys? That's what this is about, right? The second thing is the Crave Crusher. That's going to help you all day long, because you have more important things to do than think about what's sitting in your stupid pantry. Just because the families want Cheetos doesn't mean you have to go there. And when your brain isn't on overdrive thinking about it all the time, you've got time for other things that are vibrant, that are going to contribute to the life you want to lead. That's why we have all these supplements. And every single last stinking supplement that's in our store has all been tested, has all been formulated, has all been put together with this in mind. Because I'm sick and tired of the diet industry robbing us of our health, robbing us of our brains and our time. That's not vibrant. It's just not. It sucks. And you deserve better than that. And I'm now getting off of my soapbox. How many TED Talks have I given this week? A few. She said, I believe, she said, in regard to Crave Crusher and Get Lean, should we divide them up, take them all at once? No, take them all at once. Do them all at once. I know it's a lot. You got 4 Crave Crusher and you got 3 Get Leans. But, that's an optimal dose. It's an optimal dose, and it will do the trick. It works on the fat, the belly fat and the thigh fat. And, I'm still a sucker for anybody saying anything about thigh fat. It's crazy. How many supplements do I take? Wow. Teresa, I'll tell you what, we'll put that, I will do a show and tell on Friday on all my supplements next week. Is that a deal? Because otherwise I'm just going to go, and then it's this, and oh, I forgot that. I take absolutely every single supplement that we have in our shop. First of all, you know that. Secondarily, there's a few extras that I have that I will pull out and show you. You ready for that? Okay, Teresa, game on. So Amber or Jenny, can you put that into the queue for next Friday? That'll be that'll be a fun show and tell. Oh, and I have something to tell you. Yep, that's the way to do it. Oh, I left it. I keep leaving my stuff there. Should we take them all at once when we break our fast? Yes. There is nothing to take before dinner. I mean, you can duplicate if you want. There's some people who do that. I find that taking supplements before dinner and night just kind of keep me up. I do take my probiotic. Here it is. And as a matter of fact, that needs to go upstairs because I need some more. Proactive probiotic I take at night, right before I go to sleep. I take, and there it is. This is my girlfriend right here. Have you met her? Sleepies. She's so sweet. I love her. She helps me to sleep. So these two things at night, every single night without fail. And I'm convinced that this has made all the difference in the world. It's not just a coincidence. So it makes a difference. You take 2 of these and 1 of the probiotic. Fabulous stuff. So there you go. Yeah. And you should see my supplements when I take them. You guys are going to die. You're going to die. Oh, good. Jenny's already added it to the list for Friday. Okay, this is from Emily. Can I use red wine vinegar for salad dressing without chicken, of course? This is the mixture for hot milk. Yes, Emily, yes. You know, here's the thing. With our vinegars, you can use whatever vinegar you want. We just kind of put together fun vinegars. Occasionally, you're going to see something like champagne vinegar, and you're going to say, what? And you're going to say, my supermarket doesn't have it or whatever. A vinegar is a vinegar is a vinegar. The fun part about champagne vinegar is it tastes kind of fun and sparkly and razzle dazzle, right, Amber? It is so much fun. Just don't ever take your bees at night, ever. It'll keep you up like somebody's crazy. I'll take beauty support. I also take beauty support at night too. That's how I split mine up. Love that. All I heard was wine. And there we go, you guys. We did all the questions. So next week we're going to do show and tell on these are the supplements Leanne takes, and I'm going to explain every single one of them and why I take them. Okay, because you're going to probably get. And if you want to take notes, that's fine. But remember, you have to when you're taking supplements, you need to have a reason why you're taking them, and don't just be taking tons of supplements. I was at a thing one time with Alan Christensen. He's a naturopathic doctor that I have utmost respect for. He is the thyroid expert, I believe, in the world. And he's the one who saved my bacon and did an ultrasound of my thyroid saying that I was in remission and all the nodules, I had huge nodules, were gone. I had 3 of them. And they had to all be biopsied, which was horrific, by the way. I think I've told you this. They had the needle that they came at. This is the neck and throat and eye, ear, and fill in the blank guy who came at me with this needle. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me, dude? And no numbing, no nothing. Just like, looked like a turkey baster. 3 of them on my thing. And I was with a girlfriend and I squeezed the living daylights out of her and dug my fingernails and left marks on her arm, and just the tears, just bawling my eyes out. It was awful. And that was quite a rude awakening. And then after going through everything and changing I was on the path anyway. And he gave me a better medication. I went on to WP thyroid instead of Armor. Armor wasn't working for me. And all of it's touch and go. And it's kind of dialing things in. It's like how we work with everything with life. We just don't quit. We have grit. We just keep at it. That's how I got to the place of finally getting into remission with the thyroid. I've been struggling with it since 2002, 2003, I think is when I was diagnosed. And it wasn't until how many years later, 10 years later, all these different things, doing all these different things, couldn't lose a pound, felt terrible, looked awful, dropped all this hair, everything about it. But he helped me with all of it and helped me get the supplements dialed in, all of the things, everything. And I don't even know why I was telling you all that, but that's an important thing. That's how you get to the place of starting wherever you start. You got to start with doing the right things. Start with your food always. Start with your hydration and your sleep and stress control and all of that. It's all in Part-Time Paleo. Here's one of the teas. This is the tea that I drink daily. It's Yogi Detox Tea. Now, this is so incredible. And you know what I do? I'm going to start making a great big thing of tea and start icing this up. There's lots of cinnamon in it, but it also has like cardamom, ginger, clove, dandelion, yada, 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 yada. So many things. I love it. And, sometime I'm your doctor now. So that's what we need to start doing. This is exactly what we need to start doing, is hydrating and drinking a little bit more. And when you're just sick to death of other stuff, go throw some of this detox tea in there. I also use our regular tea and our decaf tea, which I love. Our Wise Women's tea is amazing. In the future, would you consider making a pack of 3-pack unflavored chocolate and vanilla? We could do that for you. Couldn't we? A 3-pack? Couldn't we do that, Jenny? You know what? Right now, what you can do is just say, hey, for this 3-pack, can you give me 1 chocolate, 1? Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Just put a note in with your order and we'll just do it for you, Diane. We'll do anything for you. Yeah, traditional medicines is really good. I love this. There it is. You know what, Jenny? I have to just give Jenny a shout out. You know what? Jenny never ever says, well, we can't do that. She never says that. She said, I'll figure it out. She always says that. I'll figure it out. If she can't figure it out, she's going to find somebody who does. That's what Jenny does. Jenny has grit. She doesn't quit. So let me just tell you, we all need to be like Jenny. Yay. All right, lovelies, let's be here for Saturday, because on Saturday, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you through the last of our little hinges. And I don't know what we're doing for next week. And if you're here for tomorrow, I'm also going to share with you the possible theme for Full Bloom. But right now, what you need to do is go to savingdinner.com/bloom and go get on the insider track. I want you all here. That's all there is to it. I want you all here. And we're going to have the floaty boaty VIP cocktail cruise right here on Friday night. You're going to want to be here for that. The all-day workshop, that's going to be off the chain. And then we're going to have an amazing steak dinner. Mark's going to cook it. Dry farm wines for everybody. And then Sunday, if you're still here, guess what? You get to come to my house and we'll make brunch. What do you think of that? Bloody Marys? Yeah, you think so? Pinkies up. Peace be with you. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow for Soulful Saturday. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.